Welcome to this Sunday's Gospel Reflection. When I was a very little child, there were two mysteries I could never fathom and solve. The first mystery was, how is it possible for a plane, an aeroplane, to stay up there in the sky without falling? Everything else falls, but the planes don't fall. Finally, I did find an explanation. Yes. You know what? God is holding the plane up there by a thread from heaven so that it will not fall. You see, the mystery is solved. And the second mystery of life was, how could my dad ride a bicycle without it falling either to the right or to the left? And the mystery was finally solved when I grew old enough for my dad to teach me how to ride a bicycle. And that trick, both for the plane and for the bicycle, the trick was to keep them moving. The moment a plane stops in the air, it falls. The moment you stop cycling, the bicycle would fall either to the right or to the left. Today, we are celebrating a much greater, but just as simple a mystery. With his death, Jesus stopped moving among us, human beings on this planet. Yet, instead of remaining buried in a tomb, he rose above the ground and, what we're celebrating today, went up to heaven. If you want to understand how he could make it, just think of the plane or the bicycle. Do you know how he made it? He kept moving. But to do so, Jesus, just like you, just like me, needed to fulfill one condition. He needed to move out of the tomb. He could not stay in the tomb. He needed to keep constantly moving to another place, another time, another situation, another moment. That's what we call eternity. What makes and what keeps us moving on in life is faith. That's why faith can indeed move mountains, because faith is keeping on the move. As we read in today's Acts of the Apostles, while they looked on, he was raised up, and while they were beholding him going up to heaven, behold, two men stood by them in white garments, who said to them, Men of Galilee, why are you standing there looking up to heaven? This Jesus who is taken up from you into heaven shall so come back as you have seen him going to heaven. In other terms, the angel was telling them, if you want to live, get moving, keep moving. This is what Jesus constantly said. Come, follow me, keep moving. And this is faith. Faith keeps us moving. Faith is another name for life. Jesus said himself, I am the way, the truth, the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. It's all about being on a journey. It's all about keeping moving. Now, in life, we cannot ride either a bicycle, a plane, or the threatening waves of our stormy life unless we keep moving. And to keep moving, you need to believe in a life that is greater, that is beyond from what you can see, understand, what you can handle. You need to believe that beyond the step you have just taken, there is another step waiting for you to take. Because faith is a journey and not a destination. One minute I am a saint, the next minute I turn into a devil. More often than not, we discover ourselves and others to be friends and enemies, angels or devils at the same time. And this is why to have life, to live life, we need to keep moving so that we don't get stuck in thinking that we are saints. And neither do we get stuck in thinking that we are devils. This is keeping on moving together with Jesus so that we too can discover the infinite spirit that has been given to each one of us as children of God, children of love. Because if you want to keep moving and in the right direction, you have to let love guide you and move you on. Love means laughing and crying, speaking or saying silent, rejecting or welcoming, rejoicing or grieving. Life is indeed wonderful and beautiful if we keep it moving and if we allow it to keep us moving. Just like Jesus, who refused to settle at any fixed address, as a pilgrim and not as a settler. He could indeed say, I am the way, the truth, the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. We are on a journey. And what we are celebrating today is this great and wonderful news. Blessed are we if we keep walking in this royal way, following Jesus. Believing in Him is walking. Living and loving like Him is walking. Believing in Jesus is riding with Him, allowing Him to drive our life bicycle with complete trust and blind faith. Just like I remember doing when my dad started to teach me how to ride his bicycle. At first, he would let me just hold on to the handlebar whilst he would do all the pedaling himself. Then he left me on my own to do both the pedaling and the holding of the handlebar. His joy was finally to see me moving forward on my own steam. Because he believed in me, he helped me to believe in myself. God believes in and puts his full trust in each one of us. And this is how God loves us. Why? Why do we find it so hard to really believe and put our trust in Him? Is it because we are too terrified to really keep moving on in life? God bless you and thank you.